Good morning, guys. How's everybody doing? It's been a while, and I apologize for that. I've kind of missed our time together, and you can sometimes let the busyness of life get the best of you. So, at any rate, I'm going to do my best to get back on track here. And so today I was reading a devotional, a little story about how men in relationships and their marriages are to be thermostats, not thermometers. And the difference is a thermostat sets the temperature. They set the relational tone, and they are the leveler of the relationship, right? And a thermostat just tells you what the temperature is. That's all it does. A thermometer tells you what the temperature is. So thermostat sets the tone of the relationship, and a thermometer just reads the temperature. And it's a good analogy because what tends to happen in a marriage or a relationship of any kind is that generally men can read their wife's emotional thermometer from across the room. We can say, oh, she's not in a very good mood, so I'm just going to stay away. Or she wants to be alone, so I'm going to have I'm going to cozy up with the TV or a book or whatever. And that's not the best scenario. What we are to do as men, is to press in. And I've told my wife this before. If she's frustrated, or if I said something that I shouldn't have, or if I'm feeling distant from her, or if she's feeling distant from me, I tell her to press into me, to get in my space and in my face, and figure out what's going on. And the typical reaction is to withdraw or separate yourself, to let them, I'll just give them some space to figure it out. Now, while there's a time and a place for that, and I think there needs to be open communication to say, hey, I need a little bit to think about this, then you should be mature enough to say that. But in reality, what's happening is if my wife is upset, and I know that, whether it's something I did or someone else did, or it's work related or whatever, instead of giving her space, I need to push in, and I need to go listen to her. I need to ask her, what's going on? What's bothering you? And I need to be persistent, because in the relationship, I am the thermostat. I need to set the tone and the temperature in our marriage. And if I want everything to be a comfortable temperature, that means I need to press in more and adjust that thermostat, so that way we have a good communication level, we are on the same page. And the analogy they use is that, your desire, your natural inclination is to take care of yourself. Yes, there are those people who don't care about their bodies or themselves, but as a generality, most people like to take care of their bodies. And the same thing we need to do for our marriage is that we need to set the temperature, set the thermostat, and take care of our relationships and things that concern each other. And so the verse that comes to mind is Ephesians 5, and it's verse 25 through 28. It says, husbands, go all out in love for your wives, exactly as Christ did for the church. A love marked by giving, not getting. Christ's love makes the church whole. His words evoke her beauty. Everything he does and says is designed to bring the best out of her, dressing her in dazzling white silk, radiant with holiness. And that is how husbands ought to love their wives. They're really doing themselves a favor, since they're already one in marriage. When you get married, guys, you're one. That's just the way it is. Now, it says right here, and that is how husbands ought to love their wives. They're really doing themselves a favor. And let me tell you something, guys. You're doing yourself a favor if you set the thermostat. If you just read the temperature from across the room or over the phone or over a text message and you don't press in, you're not setting the thermostat. You're just reading it. And you're going to try to distance yourself and, I'll give them some space. But not every time, that's not the answer. And so I would encourage men and women both, if you're reading your husband's temperature from across the room and you think he's not in a good mood, I encourage you and invite you to press in. I encourage you to really, he wants you to know how he feels. And the only way to do that is to get in his face and in his space and figure it out. And the same thing goes for husbands. You need to get in her face and in her space. Not intrusively, but just press in and poke her button a little bit and say, hey, what's going on? We should be able to communicate about these things. So, and just like you want to take care of your body, you want to take care of your marriage. So guys, I love you. Stay encouraged today, and we will talk soon. Have a good day, guys.